Now, according to their composition, proteins can be classified into simple protein, conjugate protein, and the derived protein. Now, on the basis of composition, first type is a simple protein. All those proteins, I have already told this with this concept of enzyme also. Similar concept is there. If a protein is made up of only amino acids, that means there is no other thing apart from amino acids, is called as simple protein. So that means no other chemical, no other metal ion, nothing else is there, nothing which is non-amino acid, everything is only amino acid there. Examples if you need, for example, albumin, globulin, histones, because albumin is present in the egg, we have learned. It is present in the blood plasma also. This protein plays an important role in human body and is made up of only amino acids. The next one is the globulin. Globulins, we have already learned the example of immunoglobulins. So there are proteins which are round and they are only made up of amino acids. Then histone. Histone is found in the concept of nucleic acid. Our DNA is stabilized with the help of a round protein. That protein you'll be learning in 12th class in detail. This protein provides stability to the negatively charged DNA because histone proteins are positively charged. So these proteins are rich in basic amino acids and they have only amino acids, nothing else. That's why they are examples of simple proteins. Now the second category is the conjugate protein. So all those proteins which have proteins in them, that means they have amino acids in them, and apart from amino acid they also carry additional groups, and those additional groups can be metals or metal ions or something apart from it. That means some other biomolecule could be there apart from the amino acids. So let's understand, there are many examples of conjugate proteins. Sorry. The first one is the nucleoprotein. Now a protein which is present, which is attached with the nucleic acid is called as nucleoprotein. So we all know what is chromatin. In the cell organelles chapter I have told this word to you. So chromatin is the place where nucleoprotein is present. So what is nucleoprotein? It is the DNA and the protein. Which protein? Histone protein. So when DNA attaches to histone protein, you can call it as nucleoprotein. In the same manner, we have the glycoprotein. Now what is glycoprotein? When a carbohydrate, if you remember this topic also I have covered in the glycocalyx, or you can remember the cell wall, cell membrane topic. I have explained this concept. Glycoproteins are present in the plasma membrane and they are like receptors on the surface, or antigenic properties. All these are given by glycoprotein. So glyco word here stands for carbohydrate, or to be better or to be more accurate, it is oligosaccharide. So when oligosaccharides join with protein, they give rise to glycoprotein, and they are present on the surface of the membrane, responsible for cell to cell communication or surface to surface talking. Now the next one is phosphoproteins. Those proteins which carry a phosphorus or phosphate group or phosphoric acid moiety or phosphoric acid moiety attached to them is called as phosphoproteins. Phosphoproteins are present in the plasma membrane. Also you have learned they are present in the milk in the form of casein. Casein protein is not a simple protein, it's an example of phosphoprotein. So there are many proteins which are phosphoproteins. In the same manner we have mucoproteins. Now those proteins which have, now what is muco word? If you recollect your carbohydrates topic, I have told you that polysaccharides are of three types: structural polysaccharides, then storage polysaccharides, and mucopolysaccharides. So muco word is used for slippery things or slimy things. So mucoproteins are those proteins which have a polysaccharide, mucopolysaccharide attached with the protein. Example, cell surface, or you can say membrane surface, will always have mucoproteins for maintaining moisture, etc., etc. Lipoprotein. Now those proteins which have lipids attached to the protein are called as lipoproteins. An example, chylomicron. We'll be learning about this in the digestion chapter when we'll start human physiology. Chylomicron is when we learn about fat breakdown or digestion, this concept will come. What exactly is chylomicron then? The next category possible is metalloproteins. Those proteins which have a metal ion attached to them are called as metalloproteins. So metal ions can be iron, metal ion can be copper, which I have already told you the example. So metal ions can be iron or copper. Example, ferritin. Ferritin is present in the human body also. Extra iron is stored in the form of ferritin. And then you have ceruloplasmin, which carries the copper. So the copper and iron are basically stored in the form of metalloproteins. Next is chromoproteins. Chromoproteins are those proteins which impart, chromo means color, so which impart color. That means there is a protein, or you can better call that a protein attached with a pigment, and because of that, because pigment is there, pigment imparts a particular color. That's why the protein also appears to have the same color of the pigment. So chromoproteins are many in example. Like for example, if you talk about myoglobin, you talk about the blood of some invertebrates, they also carry, for example, hemocyanin. We'll be learning many examples of this when we will come to the topic of the animal kingdoms and various respiratory systems of the animal and other part with the human. We'll be learning about various types of color containing bloods are present in various organisms. So all those are examples of chromoprotein. Hemocyanin, for example, carries copper. Then we know one more example, easiest one, bile proteins. Bile proteins are yellow in color. So yellow color protein because it's a type of chromoprotein. So bile pigments are there. In the case of human, we have a cytochrome. Cytochrome plays an important role in respiratory system. That's why I told these all concepts will be more clear in human physiology. Cytochrome plays an important role in respiration. So it carries iron in it. So there are many examples of such type. If you talk about plants, in plants you have phytochrome. So cytochrome in respiratory system, phytochrome in the photosynthetic system. So there are many types of proteins in this manner. And then we have derived proteins. What are derived proteins? Proteins which are made up, which are break because of product of the breakdown. Example, coagulated protein, proteose, peptones, peptides. That means when proteins undergo partial digestion or breakdown, they give rise to these forms of proteins.